When you look at the Ravens, the obvious question, what are some of the keys? How do they do it? What do they need to make sure happens if the Browns are going to get that win and get to 7-5?
It's really simple. You've just got to contain Lamar Jackson. Assuming he is back, assuming he is anywhere close to 100% as he comes back from whatever this virus was that kept him out of the game on Sunday. If he's playing and he's 100%, he's a problem. But you've kind of built this defense to stop Lamar Jackson, whether they want to admit it or not. You know, you have these dominant, big, athletic ends because of Lamar Jackson. You drafted Jeremiah Owusu-Koramoah to deal with mobile quarterbacks and a guy specifically like Lamar. And then John Johnson, too. He's going to be really important. He's had a very up and down season, but his athleticism, his ability at that second level to run around and chase guys around, this defense is built to try and stop Lamar. I don't know that you can shut him down, but you've got to make sure he doesn't go out and rush for 100 yards against you and have a game like he did against the Vikings, where he put up something like 400 yards of offense on his own. You've got to avoid that because he really is he's the Ravens offense right now. They don't have a great running back. Their receivers are a little bit iffy. He is their offense, so it all starts with him.
And the other thing is that Ravens defense is not what it used to be, basically because of injuries. That's a defense that has struggled to stop the pass. I mean, that's what it is. Their secondary is beat up.
Yeah, you can throw on that defense. And unfortunately, you can throw on Detroit's defense too. And it just didn't work out. So the Browns have to get that figured out. But, you can throw a little bit on Baltimore's defense. Stats tell you that. The analytics websites, the PFF grades, Football Outsiders, they all tell you that this pass defense leaves something to be desired. So you should be able to throw on them and maybe get something going. It would help to have Kareem Hunt, we talked about earlier, but also Donovan Peoples-Jones, to have him back off that groin injury, just to give you something downfield, some sort of threat down the field. That'll help this a lot. So, I don't know if this is going to be a shootout, but it very well could turn into one with both of these defenses.
And the flip side of it is if the Browns can find a way to go into Baltimore and win, it puts all the pressure on the Ravens because then the Browns have a bye. You know what happened after the bye a year ago, and then they come back and play the Ravens. So you've really put the pressure on the Ravens. The pressure that the Browns are feeling right now all gets shoved onto Baltimore if they find a way to go into Baltimore and win.
And you mentioned it. Baltimore has to play Pittsburgh in between these games. And, whatever you think of the Steelers, if you buy into what their record is, if you think they're that good, it doesn't matter. When Baltimore and Pittsburgh play, it's a physical, tough, hard-nosed game. That game is at Heinz Field. It is not an easy task for the Ravens to play the Browns, then play the Steelers, then play the Browns again. If the Ravens lose that game, that's a ton of pressure. Now, if they win it, that makes everything else a little bit easier. But I think there's as much pressure on Baltimore in this game as there is on the Browns.